What's his
Hello,
name?
this is Joby. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name is Car, the BFF Keyan,
It's
and
Anthony
Flip Poet.
Bourdain.
How are y'all doing today?
We're good. We're great. We're feeling like Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain, R.I.P.
Oh, is it today?
No.
No, I don't think so. I found a picture of him. I think it was Mono Not shared a picture of him, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a good vibe.
I really
What a
loved
cool
Anthony.
guy.
Yeah, I really loved him. It's one of my favorites.
I wonder why he killed himself.
I don't think he did.
Really?
Wasn't it around that time with the whole like Epstein thing, and they were blaming it on like CNN thing? It could be fake news, but I don't remember. I feel like it was like right around that time.
It did seem like it was around like other, political
Conspiracy stuff.
but I think he's also the kind of dude who might just kill himself.
Yeah,
Maybe he finds out he has
on his
cancer
show,
or
he did talk a
something.
lot about like
Yeah.
he was very into like drugs and alcohol.
I think he used to be a heroin addict
He was like pretty committed to living full but living fast.
Yeah. But he had just gotten into jujitsu, and he became like ripped.
Did you ever see his documentary or his like life documentary? It was good. It was called Roadrunner or something.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I don't think I have
good.
seen it. I thought it was after he died that they made it.
Yeah, I saw it at
Yeah.
Violet. It was a good documentary.
It makes me sad to think about people like that. Like you reach the peak of cool and you're still dead. Like you don't live forever.
He was so inspirational too. That's what I loved about him. He was just so interesting just to hear talk.
I feel that way about David Foster Wallace.
Interesting.
I don't feel like he's as cool, is he?
He was cool
very
because
cool.
nobody even knew him. That's how cool he was.
But he was interviewed on Charlie Rose. I remember that's the first time I encountered.
Who's Charlie Rose?
He's the old guy on PBS who interviews.
He was like Jordan Peterson before Jordan Peterson.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
David Foster Wallace.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you not read
Oh.
Infinite Jest?
I don't think it was Jordan Peterson.
I didn't read Infinite Jest.
No.
No,
Did you read
I'm not
Infinite Jest?
saying like he's Jordan Peterson. I'm
Okay,
saying like
okay.
he was a professor that got insanely popular, just like Jordan Peterson. That's what I meant. to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
he was a writing professor.
Yeah, he wrote Infinite Jest. I
actually have
according to
read
Keon,
it.
I didn't read it because I listened to an audiobook. So
Yeah, you listened to it.
Oh.
That's how
Dude,
you'd
how
say
long
it.
did it take you to listen to
I'm
it?
still on it.
Yeah, because it took me 3 months to read
You
it.
started before he killed
I
himself.
use it to go to sleep sometimes.
How do you can't, do you listen to the footnotes as well? Or
No, it's right here. Look, let me see.
because the
Yeah, why don't you-
footnotes.
Yeah, I have like
what do you
60
do?
hours left.
Oh my
He's probably skipping the footnotes, huh?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm here like autumn year of dairy products from the American Heartland. I'm there. I'm like
Man.
60 minutes in. No, 45 minutes
Okay,
in.
but there was a good movie made about the life of David Foster Wallace. Short, not
Little
his
guy
whole
was
life,
asleep,
but like a week of his life,
Sick in bed upstairs.
and it's called.
in acetate pajamas. Hot water bottle on his chest.
It's called.
You don't need to know what it's called. People have phones and stuff. They can look it up.
Okay, if you have a phone, look it up, and it's really good.
Is it were his parents writers? That's my memory from my Charlie Rose interview.
Size box of Kleenex
Yeah, that's probably right.
Are we all reading together right now, Car?
No,
Because
I
we
mean,
were
I was
listening?
just playing it for the snackers listening at home.
Let's,
Anyways, if you've never seen this crazy show before, it's called Stacker News Live. We cover the top 5 stories on stacker.news, front page of Bitcoin. And we do this, if you're listening to this as an audio podcast, this is actually a live show that happens every week on Friday at 4 p.m. here in Times Square. Or, I mean, not Times Square, here on Congress and
Cowboy
6th
Square.
Street. Cowboy Square. And you can see a Pete Terry's who gets free advertising every week. Anyways, check it out on Fountain Boost Zap there. Check it out on Pull It Up Jamie. I think we're here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Boom. So if you ever want to say is Car staying in his lane, you can just type in car.
do we get
Are
live?
you
Can we do
staying in your lane?
Oh boy,
Let's see what happens. He's gonna search through. He goes, oh, right here. There he
Come
goes.
on in.
There you go. Sound bites.
Sound
about
bites are
staying
here.
in the
I've
lane.
been operating this
Or
way
not.
See, look,
since.
you can
Or
see all the
veering.
times I've been
That's all
staying
it
in my
is.
lane.
It's like
Maybe
you're
veering
going
to the
down.
side of a
Oh.
motorcycle every once
Right
in a
here,
while.
talking about
Subaru,
this.
what are you doing with your life?
Subaru.
Talking about staying in my lane.
Can we do live like I can collect receipts during the podcast? I'm like earlier in the podcast you said
pull
this.
it up. Jamie is the
That would
receipt
be really
taker.
good. I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can type in there. You can even type in. Look, if I wanted to go back and type in his coob stain in his lane.
I don't
Find
have
that
a
out
lane,
too.
bro.
We'll find out.
I'm a flying car.
Oh, look. Dead end of theory. He wasn't
That's-
staying in
that's
his lane. Yeah. The other thing I want to bring up is, see, there you go.
Well, I wonder why it picked that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good example.
Totally true.
Okay.
Also, you can check us out on YouTube. We're on there. And hit subscribe.
We're
Ring
good.
the
Hey, that's
bell.
my face.
Hey, there's Jana. Oh, doxed. There's Austin. Anyways,
Half Jana, half us.
click on all that stuff. All right, with that, we're gonna jump into. Oh, one last thing. We're doing we're throwing a party here next week. Super secret party. No one knows about it, but it's happening on March 14th at 3:30. BYOB. Go downstairs. There'll be somebody waiting for you. Just come up here. Say you're going to a super secret party inside a Plub Lab for Stacker News Live.
I
Keep it
didn't even
quiet.
see this. I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it low key so no one finds out.
Yeah, even me.
Yeah, no one watches the show with the stacker. So if you're a stacker, going to be in Austin next week for South by, come through. Vibes will be high.
Let's go.
There'll be drinks, beer, and snacks. And I heard Keon's buying pizza.
I'm not buying pizza. So someone lied to you. You might want to find out who that is.
Okay, cool. With that, we're going to jump into the top 5 stories. The number 5 top story is Donald Trump signs executive order for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is from Siggy 47, 21 hours ago. Bitcoin territory, 34 comments, 1,100 sats. Keon, who is Donald Trump?
He is the 54th president of the United States.
Oh.
Is that the right number? Did I get it? 57th president of the United States. 47th. All right. This is a different timeline. Than
Wait, so he's number 47?
Number 47, apparently. I don't own any Trump trading cards. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk of this SBR thing, and a bunch of states are doing SBRs, but the federal level, they've been talking about SBRs, and then there's been a bunch of news in Bitcoin circles before and after, and Senator Loomis is a big champion of, I think, a bill that's going through Congress, but it looks like Trump just signed an executive order, which I still don't really know what the consequences of these things are in reality. But I guess any departments he
Is that
oversees,
really him right there? That looks like AI.
That's really him, dude.
Wow, that doesn't look like him. He's so short.
Well, does he really look like a person?
I think it's just a
Maybe
really,
it's the camera angle, maybe.
it's just a really big desk, I think,
And a tall window.
and
It
the
is a
camera.
big desk.
Yeah, it's like a bigger room.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
like made for the
I
president.
wonder who those pictures are in the background. Looks like he's like.
That's the presidential throne right there.
One of them looks like an Epstein and a Ghislaine picture.
Look at his. Did you see his like different calligraphy box set right there?
That's tight.
That's pretty cool.
No, I think they do is they give away the pen to like an important person
Oh,
after he
interesting.
signs it.
He's
and
probably
I
not doing calligraphy, huh?
think- No, I don't think so.
That's cool.
Anyway, he's signed an SBR thing at the executive level, which more or less states that any Bitcoin the government has seized as part of criminal proceedings, they should keep and not sell. That the Treasury should look into acquiring more Bitcoin, so long as it doesn't cost the taxpayers any money, which is suspect. I don't know how you buy Bitcoin without paying for it. And then they also talks about a shitcoin stockpile. It's similar kind of thing, except they talk about selling shitcoins, though. Unlike Bitcoin, they advise, the executive order says not to sell Bitcoin. That's like the main difference between the two. And I think there's also some language in there about, it's explaining how Bitcoin is different.
Well,
And I think today they're having like a
round table.
Yes, a round table of 12 people. One or two of them are Bitcoiners, and then the rest, I think, are other crypto people. But they're going to decide on. It's like a crypto czar meeting or something. Mm-hmm. But here's the details of the order. Yeah, it says things like fixed supply of 21 million coins. Someone wrote this for them, I'm not sure he understands these things himself too well, but
Yeah.
bullish, bearish.
You got anything, Pleb Poet?
I just kind of am like, let's see how it plays out. Like, I don't know what it means, like you said, like in practice, which I guess that's not really for us to know anyway, but because if it is like a defensive thing, then that's not going to be broadcast.
So I think we'll jump into the next thing, but let's just read the top comments. So top comment was from Bitcoin is the Future, says, oh, it's Bitcoin all the way in the long run, exclamation point. Then he starts highlighting the different aspects of this memo.
Yeah,
And,
the bullish things
basically
about it.
the stuff that Koob just said.
Yep.
And then everybody jumps in saying, or this is from Fabs. He says, in other words, they might hold on to stolen Bitcoin and shitcoins and might or might not sell some, but they'll definitely not buy some. Correct? WTF. And then Bitcoin is Future says, read it. They can't sell any Bitcoin and have ways to buy more. This is how executive orders work, giving guidelines. Fab says, is Bitcoin excluded from the fourth red box? Bitcoin Future says, yes, there are two things established, a Bitcoin reserve and a separate U.S. digital stockpile, a.k.a. shitcoins. They can't sell anything in the Bitcoin reserve, but can add to it. So there you go.
Good job reading, Car.
And Fab says, my bad. Look, see, the stackers figured this out just on their own.
Yeah.
Kepford said price is likely tanking because he didn't say Bitcoin would be bought. LOL, good news, cheaper sats. There you go. And then you wanted to bring up Justin. So Justin Shocknet had a post, and he said exquisite post from BitPain on the SBR reaction.
I just wanted to, this was one of my top stories. This wasn't in the top 5, but this was just posted today by Justin Shocknet, and BitPain was responding to this news, and all the Bitcoiners that were responding to this news. And I thought it was interesting because I was like, hey, he's talking about me, because he basically says that the people who are like against the strategic Bitcoin reserve are perpetually cucked Bitcoiners who, you know, don't appreciate Bitcoin winning because they are outcasts and losers, and they think of themselves as outcasts and losers, and so they don't want to win, and our like personalities are about being outcast. Anyways, I thought that was pretty close to how I feel. Is like
an outcast?
I'm also not sure that I wouldn't frame this as winning. It's certainly showing that Bitcoin is succeeding in some way. You know, I think it was news that a president would talk about Bitcoin a while ago.
Yeah.
Or any politician at all, and now he's like advocating for it. So it's clearly winning in some way, but I don't know if I'm just perpetually cucked or you know, this isn't actually that great.
We got Stack Toshi said, F this, how is this a giant leap? Would an SBR be wonderful if the government just 6102'd Microsoft and IBIT were not for wanting the world's most powerful and most indebted government to stop its chicanery and allow plebs more time to take back their financial freedom? And then Justin says, SBR doesn't change their ability to 6102, and why would the NSA invent Bitcoin just to 6102? Everyone has had 15 years to wake up.
Wow.
Monetization of the next world reserve currency won't wait for angsty
I did not read
heads
through
forever.
I'm not advocating for the comment
And
section.
then
I did not read it.
Stack Toshi said, really trying to make sense of your first two statements. I never claimed otherwise in the NSA, question mark, question mark, question mark. Even if that crackpot theory turned out to be true, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing in government. Actually, if it was the NSA, 6102 would make perfect sense to secure national wealth. Whose money did they use to establish SPR? Was it moral, question mark? Then Justin Shockman goes, the crackpot theory is the fairy tale that some lone wolf did it and stayed anonymous, when at a minimum the NSA has had a slight signet necessary to know who it is and how to get their coins. Wow, it looks like he goes pretty deep on this theory. Where did this theory come from? I've never heard the NSA invented Bitcoin before.
I don't know. I
Is
can't
that a
listen to
theory?
people read. I can only read. I can't listen.
Well, he's basically saying the NSA invented Bitcoin.
I don't think that. I think someone said something like that.
When did that come into? Is that a thing?
People just have ideas. I don't know. I never heard it either.
Yeah, like I think I like still stacking after all these years is common. Bitcoin hipsters are just like other hipsters. Yes.
So is he calling? Who's he calling the hipster?
The people who are against
Me.
the SBR. It's like not cool to like want power to be on your team.
Oh, okay.
You
So
wanna
he's
still
saying
be
it's
on
like
the cool-
hipster to be against the SBR.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Okay. Interesting. What do you got?
I am a hipster, so can't say much.
So you're against the SBR? Sounds like.
But I like this line of thinking because it's like, yeah, I think part of many Bitcoiners' identity is being the misfit outcast, like, you know, operating in the gray market type of, that's like the identity. And so this kind of challenges that
Yeah.
identity. And, you know, I think there are reasons to be against the SBR stuff, but, you know, this identity part is maybe not a good reason.
I don't know if I would read into it that way because it feels like just like calling someone a name for not agreeing with you.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
What's up?
Topher?
Hello, we got a
Whoa.
person walked on the set
Whoa,
here.
Topher.
Did you want to talk about the strategic reserve?
What do you got?
Is that a tether shirt?
It sounds like
What
he.
is there to really talk about?
Oh, there you go.
It's just the same old thing.
So, what do you think about the strategic reserve?
I don't know much about it. I heard that wherever they got their Bitcoin from, those people aren't getting it back, I guess.
Yeah, I thought they were supposed to get it back, right? I think one was a Bitfinex hack. I think the other one was, wasn't it the
That's him signing it.
Silk
right there.
Road
That's our
hack?
president, the 47th one.
Yeah.
okay?
I mean, the government didn't mine it.
yeah, they didn't buy it.
So I guess it's theirs now.
I like that flag
Apparently.
back there. You think they'll let me keep the flag if I go to the White House? Like if I just go and take it? You think they'll stop me?
I don't think
they'll
you'll
stop me.
ever get let in the White House.
Dude, really?
That's,
I'm Car. Of course they'll let me through the White House.
I don't know, bro.
Dude, I don't think that matters.
Do you have
I think
neck
that
tats?
I think
Oh,
that
you do
actually
have neck
does help
tats.
me. I think it actually does help me.
I thought that was a. Anyway.
I mean, if they can let Kanye in there and they can let Kim Kardashian, why can't they let me?
Because you're not Kim Kardashian
What?
or Kanye.
You wouldn't want to go to the White House
Nah. I don't
at
know.
all? Like to visit?
I mean,
It's a historic place.
I guess so.
I would want to see the inside of it.
I would want to
Yeah.
look at some of the furniture and
I
the
don't know.
art.
I could separate the
But
politics
other
from
than
the institution. I want to see what
It's
that
just
looks
like, do I want to go spend a day being a tourist in Washington, D.C.?
No, but I want to check out the White House, the Oval Office.
I've seen it from the outside in person before.
Was it a...
They had like gates.
I guess I'm
around
the only
it.
one.
I was like,
Would you
12
want to
years
go to the
old.
White House to visit the Oval Office?
Last time I went there, I got put on the list.
Oh, damn. I might be the only one in Bitcoin that wants to visit the Oval Office.
Well, nobody gets to visit the Oval Office, I don't think. You just
Sure
get to
can.
go
You
in
get
the
on
hallways.
a list, right? And they'll let you. Like, there's a tour, right?
Yeah, but I don't. That doesn't include the Oval Office because he actually does work in there.
They might have like a fake one. that
Can you just get
visit.
out so I can check it out? Oh, do they really?
Oh,
Oh,
right.
wow.
That would make a lot of sense.
I don't know.
'Cause they
There's
look
just so
great
much
on
history in that
camera,
Oval Office.
so-
You have Nixon doing the whole Watergate stuff. You have Trump doing his stuff. You have Barack Obama.
You wouldn't get to see that happening. when
But
you
no,
go
there's
to
history
on the
there.
tour.
And then, Bill Clinton, there's
What
that.
and what did he do?
You go in there with a
What
black
didn't he
light.
do?
What are you gonna do?
So that's what I'm saying. There's so much history there. You just want to be in the room.
and what did Obama do
Oh,
in
man,
there?
what didn't he do?
Amazing. That's an amazing answer. I like it.
Anyways,
Oh man.
where do you land on this, Keyan? Are you?
Well, we talked about it quite a bit already.
okay, sorry.
But I'm curious where, like, the main clause that I find interesting is where he instructs the Treasury to acquire more Bitcoin, but says that it can't cost the taxpayers anything.
is that here?
Yeah, it's in there, which would mean either means they plan on seizing more Bitcoin, or they plan on seizing money or other assets that they can buy Bitcoin with. And, because those people are criminals, I guess you could technically not classify them as taxpayers. And that, I don't know how much of this is like concept either, and how much of this is like law and the words matter. But in general, I think I'd prefer the government to stay out of Bitcoin, but I think it's inevitable if Bitcoin is going to succeed that the government tries to get in it. So I'm also not. I'm also trying to not be surprised.
Yeah. The other thing I will say is be careful what you ask for, because this is what people have been asking for, and just be careful what you ask for sometimes, because you're going to get it. And we'll see what that is.
Yep.
Anyways, we're going to number 4. The number 4 top story this week is Exquisite posts from BitPain
No,
on the...
we just covered this one.
Oh, sorry. See how autopilot I am?
Yep.
Number 4 post is organizer...
We're not doing we don't do AMAs in top 5.
Well, then, is this the number 4 post?
There you go.
The number 4 post is the Archipelago. Elvis Mercury, March 5th, Econ territory, 25 comments, 2,299 sats. Keyan, what is Elvis talking about this week?
Yeah, Elvis shared this this post. It's about. I mean, if you read the comment section, has a great discussion on it, but it's about libertarianism and how it kind of creates, to be honest, a bit of a straw man of libertarianism. But it's a useful straw man, I think, to get to an interesting question. But it follows the genesis of a libertarian and the genesis of libertarian thought all the way to the conclusion of digital gold, Bitcoin basically, and argues that the foundation that many people believe in Bitcoin based on this libertarian ideology, which is pretty well seeped into all economic thought, and that it's I think he's trying to pull apart that foundation a bit and argue that Bitcoin does not stand on that libertarian foundation. And I think it's probably against Bitcoin more generally. I guess at the beginning of it is the idea that we all think of ourselves as kind of separate entities, and that we're not interdependent. And the metaphor he uses repeatedly is the idea of human beings think of themselves they think of themselves as an island when they're more like a cell in the body, and we're all part of some whole. And he basically argues that thinking of ourselves as islands is wrong and flawed, but if you build up economics on top of that, you come to a conclusion of Bitcoin is a great money. And while it's a straw man, and I think it is really uncharitable, I think, to thoughtful libertarians, I do think it asks it's attempting to answer interesting questions. And so I would encourage anyone who's reading it not to think so much about the libertarian part, although that's kind of what the whole thing is based on, but more so the question of why we think Bitcoin is good money, and not just fall back on things that he describes as kind of the libertarian canon, this kind of unit of account, medium of exchange stuff, which while I'm not dismissing those as true, but what if you can't take those as being true? What if his characterization of libertarians is correct, and that their whole model of the world is kind of flawed and baked full of bad assumptions? Is Bitcoin still valuable? And I just find that interesting, even though I would disagree with the characterization of libertarians and some other stuff. Anyway, I recommend. I like reading things that I'm sort of viscerally, I feel insulted by, and I feel challenged by, because I feel like it helps me understand the weaknesses in my point of view, and I thought this was a great example of that. He calls the island theory of self, the detachment theory. He writes a lot about these kinds of things, money. He's also a huge proponent of cash, physical cash. So he's not an ally, and so read it with those things in mind, I guess.
You got anything on this, Tover?
I haven't had a chance to read this, but it looks like he put his heart and soul into it. I like the illustrations. I haven't read the article.
Yeah, I think I'm It's quite a lengthy article, but we have two economists who both Simple Stacker and Undisciplined are in the comments discussing it with Elvis Mercury, and you could kind of I think Undisciplined describes themselves as a libertarian, and Simple Stacker describes themselves as a lowercase L libertarian, and so they are, I think, describing where they think the post is unfair to libertarians, and then what they think of the questions the author is asking too. So I'd encourage people to read the comments if they're looking for like a rebuttal of sorts.
Flippo, you got anything?
That looks like Peter Pan.
That is Peter Pan. Peter Pan is his metaphor for believing that money is a belief.
Okay.
That we believe something is money because we believe it's money.
Okay.
Like kind of like how Peter believes he can. If Peter believes he can fly, he can.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds like a Bitcoiner to me. Let's read the top comments. Top comments from, let's see here. Discipline said, I can't tell if he's arguing fundamental points or knocking down beliefs of naive libertarians. It's definitely not a steel man, but it doesn't have to be if he's just raising issues with extent lines of thinking. There's no particular reason. True capitalism can't be an unrealized ideal. The argument would then be that if it is impossible to reach for various reasons, and we could argue about the validity of those reasons. I only had time to skim the opening, so I can't really evaluate what he's trying to do yet. Simple Stacker says, I skimmed the first few paragraphs. I think he's attacking a straw man. Whether he realizes that is another question. I just didn't detect any semblance of characterization in there that resembles my own thought. He talks as if libertarianism believes that every individual can be self-sufficient and that trade only arises optionally out of that state of self-existence. I'm not sure that's what libertarians believe. I'm pretty sure most would agree that trade between individuals is necessary for survival and for civilization. So starting points matter. Well, the starting point of this article matters too.
Well, I think one of the cool things is the author lays out the starting points of their argument so that you can attack them. Most people would write an essay like this and just describe their conclusion. I think this is a pretty fair way to write an article so that you can say, well, your conclusion is invalid because it's premised on a bunch of invalid ideas.
It only has like 2 articles, it looks like.
No, there's a lot. I think there should be a lot more.
It has 2 posts, I think.
No, if you go to his main site.
Brett Scott?
I don't know if you do
What's his
URL
activity?
hacking, you're on his like Substack. Yeah, if you go to.
Oh,
his,
okay.
there you go.
Okay, there it goes.
Yeah.
Looks like that's it. Okay,
I
so
kind of this. Do you think that it's hard for anyone to pin down exactly what libertarians believe? Because that's kind of like a libertarian ideal is like independence. So like, is there a collective libertarian?
Yeah, I would think there are commonalities between most libertarians. I don't know if you could. I don't think you could.
Topher looked at me right at the same time. He said libertarian because he knows the same thing I know, or maybe he's laughing at something else, but most libertarians are shitcoiners. So that's, I mean, I don't mean to piss anybody off, but I'm just.
Oh, what would you classify yourself as?
I don't know.
Politically I see.
Yeah, I feel that same way though. Like I wouldn't necessarily classify
I don't think I would
myself as
classify
libertarian.
myself either. I don't think I would know what to classify myself.
But I would say that I have some libertarian
tendencies.
beliefs, I guess.
I think
You got anything?
I feel like the label libertarian is sort of like the label agnostic.
Yeah.
It's just so broad
Yeah.
Yeah.
that if you try to define it, then you just get kicked out of the libertarian.
That's how I feel
Group.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Bitcoin is actually like a great example of libertarianism. Just if by going online and seeing how much we yell and disagree at each other and hate each other. Yeah.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
so many different types of Bitcoiners. So I think,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. True. Good stuff.
Okay, yeah, you're laughing about something else. That's good. Anyways. But yeah, I don't really have any.
irony of libertarians trying to
Exactly.
I like the irony of libertarians trying to define libertarianism.
Yeah. That's
It's
what I'm
always
saying.
fun. You're always in for a good time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I always hear that line of like, mischaracterization of what libertarians believe, and this is actually what libertarians believe. It's like you're never gonna get a libertarian to accept the way you characterize them.
Yeah.
I think when I think of a true libertarian, it's probably like Ross. That's what I think is like the Jesus of libertarians in my mind. So I'm not that. So I don't know how. I don't know how to become that, but that's who I think of like as a true libertarian in my mind.
He's like an example of a great achievement. Probably one of the greater achievements of the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
Is that they got so focused and united on just this one thing, Free Ross,
Right.
and they literally made it happen. So, yeah.
All right. Keyan, you got anything else?
I would say that I think optimism in here had a decent. I think there are things you could say of libertarians that all people would agree on. Things like a right to property and non-aggression. I think that would. I think if you're not in favor of those things, I think you probably are not a libertarian.
Yeah.
And so I think there are a few of those things that you could pick out. The author tries to describe the foundations of like what leads someone to those beliefs, and I think that's where that's where what you guys are saying are exactly right. Where what leads someone to those conclusions can vary a lot.
Yeah. Whenever I think of something like that, it kind of reminds you of like what Teal says a lot, where I guess he would classify himself as a libertarian, but is he really? It's kind of one of those where like for me, kind of just what Topher just said right now with the whole thing. And so when I see in my head, I see like true libertarian would be like Ross. And other than that, I don't know. It's a hard thing to like fit into, I think.
Ross might not even be an ideologue, like a
He probably
libertarian.
not even,
He might be. I mean, for all we know, he's like a progressive.
For all we know.
Probably not, but there are people who are Democrats who believe in the ability to buy drugs and other goods from other human beings, as long as you're not harming other people. But libertarian has more, I think, of this non-aggression thing, and that and this property thing are kind of the big points.
Good post. Way to go, Elvis Mercury. The number 3 top story is we are self-domesticated apes. We are our own greatest invention. This is from kk.org. Is this from you? Wait,
No, it's someone who shares my initials, though.
Kim Kardashian? Is this her?
It might be.
Is this Kim's?
No.
I think it's Kim.
I mean, I share initials with many great people.
Writes.
Kim Kardashian included. This is Kevin Kelly.
Oh, Kevin Kelly. I know who Kevin Kelly is.
Yeah.
It's that beautiful book.
He writes a lot, and I think probably most famous for being the editor of Wired magazine, but also writes really eye-widening, I think, books that are like science, technology, media focused. This post in particular he shared recently, and it describes the genetic changes that happen to species as we domesticate them. And that when we domesticate anything, say, foxes are an example here, anything that we domesticate begins to have the same characteristics. It begins to look more like the young version of that domesticated animal. It becomes more gentle. Its eyes get bigger. Its jaw gets weaker.
It's the human touch.
It becomes more compassionate, more social, and that there are genetic markers for these things. Like you can see these things, and I think they're called neologism. I'm not exactly sure what the language is, but the set of genes has a name, and you can actually see this set of genes in humans. and he comes to this awesome conclusion that humans domesticated themselves. That what we do to animals, we also have done to ourselves. And he says you can look at like Neanderthal genes, and they don't have the presence of these genes are not in Neanderthals, but then and others of our ancestors. But then over time we evolve these domesticated genes, and and then the kind of tagline is we domesticated ourselves, or we were selecting among each other when we went to mate for these qualities in each other, and sort of like how we select among populations of animals to domesticate them. We did it to ourselves, and I thought that just was like pretty awesome.
Cool. We got a top comment from South Korea. He says, interesting read. Invention suggests some kind of intentional or deliberate process. I prefer to think that language incorporation emerged from evolutionary pressure.
I don't know.
Fairness, reciprocity seems to exist in many others. Beings too, of course, depends on where you put us, humans versus primates. Reciprocity. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You got anything, Blood Poet?
I did. What was it? I was gonna. That kind of makes me think that like domestic isn't quite the best word for what's going on.
Well, I don't know what word would you use? Which word is better?
I don't know. You'd probably have to have a new word, but it makes me like, yeah, it's like, what is it then? I don't know. I'm considering it now in a way that I haven't.
Well, if like, I think he's defining domestication as either the removal of some genes and the introduction of these other genes that are related to domestication. Mm-hmm. And so if that's the definition of domestication, and that appears to have happened in human evolution too, then that would be a valid use of the word domestication. But
no, I think it's valid to use it. Yeah.
I just don't know what other word to use, I guess, other than that. I think maybe you're trying to make a point.
It's like the process of like becoming better, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, but better in the ways that all the species that we domesticate become better.
Right. Not just us.
Yeah, better as defined by, to South Korea LN's point, better as defined by fitness, survival.
Yep. It is interesting.
Yeah, I think Topher.
Because I read the Stacker News post, but I didn't read the linked article. So is he claiming that we domesticated ourselves, or that we just went through a similar process?
We went through a similar process, and he's describing it in the attention-grabbing fashion that we domesticated ourselves. He's not saying that we fenced in a bunch of humans and selectively bred them. He's saying that among ourselves, we kind of like chose to breed with people who are cooperative, breed with people who look like the younger people in our species, the people who are kinder, the people who are cooperative, the people who are social. Like we were selecting that among each other, and that's why we have arrived at a place where that is like kind of our state is not the aggressive Neanderthal state.
But I guess there's two separate ideas here. There's the one that if you look at humans throughout evolution, that our evolution displays similar characteristics of domestication that we see in other animals. So that's one idea. And then the other idea is that we domesticated ourselves, whether that was like naturally or we went through this process.
I think it's natural. He would say
that it's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
The bigger question. You ready for it? The bigger question. This is the question I have for you guys, because you're technologists. are we getting domesticated now by computers and by technology? Is that domesticating us? And what are the ramifications of that?
I would say it's de-domesticating us, if anything. I would say it's because we are we're not going through the selection process.
Overlords are domesticating us.
No, I would say, well, maybe for them, that like what is domestication to a computer or an AI? It might be different than what is domestication to a human being, and so I would say we're de-domesticating because we're not going through this process of selecting among each other
kind
anymore.
of like a block, like a computer too. That makes sense.
Do you remember
Did they select that?
No, I was giving you an example, like the Kevin Kelly example.
Oh, with the skulls.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
Oh. Are you saying your skull? You have a Neanderthal
I'm
skull?
saying we're turning into blockheads.
I think I have like 3% Neanderthal DNA.
Nice.
Just for people to know. I don't know for no reason.
Okay, but don't you think that computers have made a cultural cooperation
Downstream.
event?
We had a
I
good
think
story
that-
about that the other week.
I think they have, but I don't think. I think the traits you would select for through a computer are different than the traits you would select for in a natural human group. So that's mostly what I'm trying to say is that I think.
So maybe it's the algorithms that are domesticating us.
Okay, Alan Watts' Mind Over Mind was recommended by Jim. I don't know if he's putting in, pull that up, Jamie. He's going to try to find it.
Well, because the point of his talk, I mean, it's like he drones on for like an hour. He's very articulate.
Yeah.
But the premise of it is essentially you can't, who's going to watch the Watchmen when you're deciding what to select for? It's like, there's no way to really do that. It's
Yeah.
same thing with like AI alignment. It's like who watches the AI, who aligns the AI aligners, you know?
Yeah.
Remember that
Go ahead.
conversation that we had about ironic distance?
Oh yeah, this is it, right? Yeah, Watts. Read that out right there, Topher. Watts encourages readers to shift. Can you read that?
Where is it? The book delves into the concept of metaprogramming. That part or that part there?
That part there.
Watts encourages readers to shift their perspective and embrace a more holistic and interconnected view of existence, transcending the limitations of dualistic thinking. Sounds pretty hippie if you ask me.
Yeah, sounds pretty new agey. But I think Jim is talking about a specific part of it. But so the book delves in the concept of metaprogramming, which is like who is programming the programmers.
Ask Jamie to break it down like I'm 10.
Like you're 10?
Yeah.
You didn't go all the way down to 5?
I got a 10-year-old brain.
So do you think there has to be an intent behind that kind of programming and the domestication that could come from it? Or do you think it could just happen spontaneously or naturally?
I think, South Korea LN was like, I think we're selecting for what is the most survivable traits in people. Like what we,
Yeah,
We-
that's
we're-
dualistic thinking makes sense here.
But there's still an intent to survive that humans have.
but we're
This
like,
is what you're saying.
in the process, like while we're hunter-gatherers, we're among each other, we see in certain individuals doing better, say hunting or gathering or whatever endeavor, who are more cooperative, who are more social, who are more empathetic, and we have sex with them. That's basically the way I imagine it happens. Like without there being a programmer programming us to do it, we are ourselves like. That's like free will stuff. Like by our own free will, we are like programming ourselves to want these things, I guess.
Whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, whether it's conscious or not.
Yeah. So I believe like computers can and probably are domesticating us in some way. And actually, the evidence to that would be physiological changes. And I know that for a fact that there's many physiological changes that people have gone through.
Glasses are a great example.
Not just glasses, the pencil neck,
Oh, yes.
all of the posture problems from people sitting down, carpal tunnel,
Yes.
square eyes. Yeah.
But those aren't, some of those are, you could argue, those aren't genetic. Those changes aren't genetic. Those are just the product of
But
the
in the
environment.
next generation, they'll be genetic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think that's the
You should
way
meet my-
genes
you
work.
should meet my nephew.
You should meet my nephew. He's like completely
Like if I have
like
ball,
off the
if
rails.
I
You'll just see like running
if I
around
have cancer,
carrying his iPad.
it doesn't.
like,
And
it's like
say
he's
that
like on something.
the cancer is not genetically caused. It's because I like hung out at a.
But I think posture is not that though. Like that's the bones.
I don't think it's heritable like that. I don't. I think these are just physiological changes that
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
as a
maybe
result
you're
of the
right.
environment, and then
No, I think
that would be an epigenetic argument.
I think Generation B.
that the
Yeah.
way we're living affects our offspring.
I think Generation B will be. Will have computers in them. If that makes any sense.
Computers in them.
Yeah.
Human computer interface stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
think so.
Starting that trend.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then the
I'm down.
computers be fucking, and then we have computer humans.
wow.
Yeah,
So
where are they going to
it's a
domesticate?
rated G show.
My bad, but everybody knows what I mean.
General audience.
It's not that bad.
Cool. Let's jump into number.
This is number one now.
Number one top
You're
story of the week.
Yes, this is me.
Can you
again.
believe it? It's no, it's not this
This
one.
one I actually wrote.
Took my first Waymo today. It was awesome, and they're far from perfect. This is Coob, March 5th, AI territory. 23 comments, 1,793 sats. This is a form of you getting used to the AI overlords. In
Yeah,
a sense.
pretty much. I thought I was being really cool, and I was like, I drove in a Waymo, but a bunch of people in the comments
Wait,
are like, I've driven. in them
Are you
before.
holding stock in this company or something?
No, I don't.
Disclose your holdings.
I don't have stock
Okay, just making sure.
in anything.
Just wasn't sure if you're on that level yet.
You said that other people had already done it.
Yeah, they've done it. Apparently, they've rolled out in
In
LA
what other
already,
city?
and San
Oh,
Francisco,
LA?
the Bay Area.
Where were you driving through?
This is me. It's me making a joke.
Oh,
These are like uncontacted Amazonian
you-
people, and I'm saying I'm like
You
I'm like a
removed the
future
background on
person
all this
in
and
a
put the
self-driving
background?
car, and this is what people who are
did you
looking
do
at me in
this?
the car.
Did you do this?
Yes, I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How long did that take you?
I don't know. A few minutes. I took design
okay.
classes. I can do Photoshop.
Is that EK or?
Does EK look like Laura Croft?
Oh, that's okay. I was like, who is that right there?
So this is where it dropped me off. So I go to the post and I describe the process of me joining and then the process of me driving with it. But this is like, my conclusion is that it's kind of sucks because it dropped me off here.
The wrong
And anyone
space.
who's been in a car over here knows that you can't. There's no it's a weird section of sidewalk where it's not a sidewalk. And there's like a wall with an enclosed area where people mostly smoke and homeless people hang out asking for money. And so I couldn't get out, but it didn't know that because it was not a human being that could see.
So how did you get out?
I did get out. I couldn't
go
like,
through
I
the
shouldn't get
window?
out there was maybe what I should say.
Okay.
It left me like a sliver. I had to like hit the door against the wall and get out. But then I'm like in the middle of the street like Laura Croft is here. And I'm like trying not to get
Hop
hit by
over.
a car.
Yeah, she's pretty tall there. So it sounds like you're gonna go back.
Oh, I definitely take them again. It's
Oh, wow.
it's a lot of fun. What's cool is like it actually like parked at the curb, and then I didn't have to. I realized as I was rushing out to the car like I normally do, that I didn't have to rush because there's no one waiting. It's just the car, and it sits there locked until you hit a button on in the phone, and then it like the handle comes out and it's unlocked and you can get in. You can control the music. It has like a touch screen.
Is there like what seat do you pick? Does it?
You get to
does it
pick any
matter?
seat. You could sit in the front. I think you could even sit in the driver's seat. You're not supposed to touch the steering wheel, but you could probably sit in the driver's seat if you want.
What's the like price comparison to
It's
like an Uber?
Equal. It didn't
Really?
cost any more money.
Really?
I selected Uber X, and it's like, bro, do you want
Oh,
to?
that's right. That was the whole presentation. Is like it's through Uber.
Yeah,
What kind of car is it?
it's a Porsche.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Well, at least
So
it's
what
not a-
seat did you pick?
I picked the right rear seat.
Can you
'cause
pick the
safest
driver's seat or
in
no?
a car?
Can you pick the driver's seat?
That's what we just talked about, but I think so. I think you could if you really wanted to.
I think I'd pick the driver's seat.
I imagine you would.
Just because you never know
Never know.
if it crashes. That
You're
way
getting
you're
invited to
much
the White
safer.
House.
What a
Yeah.
cool, like,
You're safer
you know,
if
like
you
for
get
the
in the
next Final Destination.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Is
I'm
this
trapped in a Waymo. We're speeding down the highway.
Oh, that sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Probably. Yeah.
This sucks. So like you see the scenario right here where there's like a train right here, and then there's a car right here. What if there's some guy just going hauling ass down this thing here? Would it know to move backwards or to
Hauling
move-
ass?
Like say you see the street right here, this side street.
Yeah.
You see the side street right here, like.
Oh, that's behind Whole Foods.
But let's just say hypothetically it was hauling ass. It was going to hit you. Would it know to move out of the way?
It might. I think
That
there
something
have
was
been
coming?
cases of at least Teslas that have self-driving that have evaded.
Because that would be cool. If it
Yeah,
had
because
those.
when I see those things, I just want to hit them.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, maybe the evading would be.
I
more
want to
interesting.
vandalize them.
I wonder if we
somehow.
will have, like a lot of these sci-fi movies have like some underground punk scene where they are like
Exactly.
anti-technology.
Where are the punks?
Wait, yeah.
That's what me and Topher were talking about. We wanted to make an open source car.
Oh, well, that would be. Have you followed
You need capital.
George
though.
Hotz at all?
Common AI.
Yeah, yeah. He's doing it open source.
You're talking about the guy from TabConf, that guy? Electricity.
Went to Telecom.
Oh.
wish.
Who am I talking about? What's that guy's name? Do you remember him, Keyan? He's at Top every year talking about his electricity thing.
Oh,
Gosh, what's his name?
shoot.
And he's always looking for Super, but he never finds him. He's like, Corey, hey, what's up? Have you seen Super? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen him.
Forget his name.
I forget his
exactly.
name. Anyways,
But,
he's that guy.
I think it's Lightning Charge. I think is what
Yeah, I think so.
something like that is the name of what he's doing.
Anyways, get that guy on this.
But yeah, if I was gonna vandalize a Waymo, like, how do you think I would do it?
How do I think you would do it?
One piece
like,
at a time.
like spray over the like sensors or something, like spray paint
What do you even think about that?
right over the sensor.
Nail polish over that
Yeah.
stuff? Oh, wow. It probably has like a phone at home, ET thing.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'd
think if the
imagine.
sensors are down, it probably just stops. But yeah, that
I
would
think
be
my thing is like
maybe
somebody
what you wanna
hacking
do.
it and crashing it with me in it. That would be more my
Pretty much
paranoia.
can happen in any modern car, though.
Not really.
Okay.
Not Volks-
Hacking it isn't really punk though. Like, it's got to be like guerrilla.
like Paul
effort.
Walker. Yeah.
What about Paul Walker? He drove cars.
there's a theory out
He
there that
died.
he died by what you're describing.
Oh, I think he was messing around in his sports car.
They said that about NH too. You remember that?
Who?
Jim? NH.
Have you ever seen Chad and JT? They do like comedy. They basically do what Striker does, but they do like a Bill and Ted routine.
Oh, I haven't seen him.
Asked for is a Paul Walker statue.
Oh wow. He should have some statue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jim was describing people that do a man on the street type show where they ask people or they claim to want a Paul Walker statue.
The other thing,
Fast and
the other thing
Furious.
too, I think it would be cooler if there was like a fake person in there. You ever see the Total Recall where it's just like a
Yeah.
head? It's just like, hey, how's
I
it
mean,
going?
I would
good
appreciate
UX.
that. Let's put puppets in there. Like, let's make it fun.
Put a Muppet.
A Muppet would be cool.
Muppet would be cool. Anyways,
You want to domesticate the car.
yeah,
I want it
you
to
want it to
reflect
be-
humanity in some way, but it
Yeah.
can't.
yeah.
I think it's rad. Have
Cool.
you guys done it?
No. Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I have my own.
Oh, that's right. Car. Yeah. Topher has his own self-driver.
Cool.
Shaltier Blood That's her name.
I wonder which is better. We should like race them or something.
Tesla's way better.
Probably. But they're both electric, right?
Yeah.
Tesla's just that much better at like
The claim is that
torquey?
Tesla is better than Waymo, way better. And I would like to see that competition. I think.
Yeah, I wonder at self-driving if the Tesla's better. I think it has more miles.
I'm surprised this
Yeah,
had.
more
I'm
data.
surprised this was #1 story this week.
Okay. Then it probably is better.
I'm surprised people
But
actually
Waymo has more
wanted to talk about
sensors.
this.
Surprised they want to talk about it?
Yeah.
People like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was just like shocked that it was number one story.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Anyways,
But
cool stuff.
I guess 'cause I don't normally write. And it's nice to see how childish my writing is.
We're gonna jump.
Yeah,
into,
like saying words like huzzah.
we're gonna jump into some
Red
meta.
Fair, baby.
So that's all your top 5 stories this week, Stackers. Now we're gonna jump into our stuff. We had some meta this week. EK, you were squashing bugs out there.
Oh yeah, so EK squash and bugs. I think I don't know what you're talking about. As usual.
Starship Trooper squashing bugs.
Anyway, the main thing in this change is that your Lightning address is basically non-functional unless you attach a receiving wallet. I just noticed myself wanting to send stackers sats, and I had no idea if they attached a receiving wallet yet or not, and I'd rather it just error.
So what happens? Does it get turned to sats or no? Or does it get turned to cowboy credits or no?
No, that's the thing, is like you don't get anything unless you have attached a wallet. And this is kind of what a lot of people
So then how do you refill it then?
refill.
How do you add more cowboy credits then?
What you buy them. You go through.
So wouldn't that be the same thing though?
No, there's like if you go to the credits, if you go click on your name, click on credits, you can buy
I'm not
them.
logged in.
Oh, if you were, you could. There's a button to buy them. You also get them zapped if you're.
So if somebody sends car at stacker.news, 1,000 sats right now, nothing happens.
No, you have a receiving wallet attached and not a sending wallet, as you've.
Oh,
stated.
okay.
But
If you don't have receiving wallet,
then it errors.
it errors
says
out.
an error. Yeah.
Interesting. This is a good important update to get out there to the masses.
I don't know if it's good and important, but it is an update that I wanted. So
Yeah, if no one knows, you might want to get this changed. Looks like Siggy says, I think you mentioned a while back that you had problems with failed payments for Zeus. Is this still an issue? I'm thinking of trying out Bolt 12 address.
yeah, I described why Zeus's Lightning address is maybe suboptimal for our use case.
Why?
Because they use Zap Blocker, which is this thing that is super developed a while ago. It's basically a means of locking up liquidity, locking up Bitcoin as it's en route to an offline peer. And so for Zeus, it's bad, or for Stacker News, it's bad to use these for zaps specifically because it'll cause a zap to fail if the person doesn't open their phone. Also, we do not allow a zap to affect ranking until the payment has been settled. And so it could be, up to 24 hours before the ranking change comes in, and ranking is time weighted.
So
that'd be bad too.
Supratic says, does this mean that Stacker News acts as a proxy? Question mark.
It's always acted as a proxy. I mean, ever since we've switched to non-custodial, your Lightning address basically protects the identity of your node on Stacker News unless you disable that. But by default, we operate like lnproxy.org and proxy all payments to your Lightning node so that people do not know your node's identity.
Cool. So
Yep.
that's all the meta this week. We got the next story that you want to share was this one, long, boring, middle iteration. This is from Jason B.
I think we skipped over Siggy's mining post at some point in there. Siggy had a mining post about their Canaan miner. I'd like to go over that because that was actually a top 5 post. I think that was.
So you don't want to go over this one then?
Well, this would be one of my selection, but I'd like to cover the top 5 that we missed.
All right, let's just cover this one real quick so we can get it out of the way.
Okay, sure. This is Jason B is trying to heat their home with Bitcoin miners. And so this is a continuation.
Wow.
I think
Concrete
they
block.
wrote another post about doing this, but they had S9s.
Oh, wow.
I think their friend gifted us some other miners. Then they've had a variety of setups. Their friend who's an electrician is helping them set up to heat their home.
Oh, that's cool. Jenna, what do you think about this?
Jason B is a pleb dev,
Oh, wow.
and that's very pleb.
Yeah, pleb dev, pleb
Is that
miner.
metal or is that foil? Looks like foil, right?
I think that's HVAC tape.
Oh, okay. What is this for? I guess it's the pipe. Or the hole of the pipe.
I would love like a spin-off show of just showing Car photos of things and asking him to identify it.
That'd be
that'd
great.
be really
I think that'd
fun.
be pretty awesome.
And like add a betting aspect to it. That'd be really fun.
Wow.
Now, what does Car think this is?
What do I think that is right there? I could tell you that does not look friendly. I don't know what that is we're looking at.
It's a horse.
Oh. That looked like something else. Nasty. All right, cool.
What did you think what could you possibly think it looks like? Then there's like
This is
another
what I'm
betting
saying.
round
This
where
is the content that we could
people
be
are asking what
capitalizing
America's
on.
butterfly, is this one
you
it?
were
Is
saying.
it America's butterfly?
You think that's
No,
about
it's
mining?
about mining.
Oh. So he has so many posts.
It's in the top. It's in the top 5 this week.
Well,
That's why
it was
wanted
in
to
the
cover
week.
it.
Like, how many does he do a week?
Yeah, we're still live. Just
My impressions of Canadian miner.
We're live.
There we go. Here, this one.
this.
Yeah, he has the
one,
same one that Nick Tia has over there.
I think
There
it's
you
a.
go.
I think it's a slightly different model.
Pretty sure.
I think Siggy has either a later generation.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So I think Nick has a 2S or something. Anyway,
this
but Siggy
point, yeah.
Siggy describes the process of setting up their home miner that they bought from Canaan, which is
Dude,
becoming a popular provider
I feel like
of
Canaan should send us one of these.
these more
We do so much talking about this.
more powerful home miners. He says he hooked it up with Ocean,
Membrane.
and he said he's not going to get a payout for 8 years, given that he's using on-chain Bitcoin. So
Maybe eCash will fix that.
they support Bolt 12. Ocean is one of few pools that support paying out to Bolt
Well,
12,
there you
so
go,
he
never
won't
mind.
have to wait, and he could get just a few hundred cents if he wants to. So
Time to spin up a Phoenix server.
Siggy has, I think, been in the process of setting up Core Lightning so he
Oh,
can
nice.
get paid non-custodially
Dude, he's doing it.
to his home node via Bolt 12.
That's
It's amazing.
awesome.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I love these mining posts because I feel like Bitcoin miners are like more real.
I feel
Bitcoiners than
that would be such a great
are.
retail
Dang.
That's how I
store.
feel.
Is like a mining store. Like if somebody made like a retail mining store, I feel like that'd be such a profitable endeavor.
Oh, I'd do it terribly because I don't think so. I don't think
I think so, dude. Because
it's not a consumer product.
Well,
really.
no, I mean like if you had like a store, like it was just called the mining store, and then you sell stuff like this, and then you do all sorts of like diagnostic and all sorts of repairs and stuff. I could see it being very profitable. And then you sell the code cards and all the other small things.
Oh,
But I would go to that place to go learn about.
well, that wouldn't be a mining store. That would be a Bitcoin store. They actually have a great one, and I did a post about it. There's one in El
I
Salvador.
feel like mining's one of those segments of the ecosystem where it's turtles all the way down. Like you really gotta learn a lot. It's totally
Turtles.
different. It's totally different than like the developer ecosystem. It feels like a totally different beast to tackle.
I don't
as
think
far as
it-
understanding you're kind of like one of those weird guys that actually looks into the mining stuff a little bit more than usual because you like looking into that stuff, but most people don't.
It's actually really simple. I mean, that's why you have, but Siggy,
I don't think so.
Siggy, declares himself not very technical, although I'd say he's pretty technical.
You're smarter than the average.
Oh, for sure. But, it's really easy to set up a miner.
I don't know. You talk to some of these guys here at Unchained, and they don't even know how to use a Lightning address. So it's a little bit different, I think. Yeah.
I don't sign off on what Car is saying right now, but
It's okay.
the
I don't
sentiment.
think he does either.
I think
I do. I think it'd be cool.
because I think a lot of people
Oh.
have like set up mining systems before, but like it has gotten more competitive, and so it's hard to focus on.
We have a miner sitting
Yeah.
over there that likes to pleb dev. He still hasn't set it up.
Oh, you mean the heater?
No, he has one that's over there. That's on the shelf.
Oh,
It's just sitting there.
I see. Like an old S9 or something?
I think so. It might be newer.
It might be too loud.
Well, you can lower it down, can't you?
But the 6 terahash is pretty good. I mean, a BitX gives you about, I think, the Ultra now maybe gives you 2.
This is cool, man. Between this and Stacker News, he's making off like a bandit.
He said he's making 300 sats a day.
On Stacker News?
No, on
Oh, he's probably making more on Stacker News. And then you add
Could be.
this. This is pretty
but
good.
he does run several
It's
territories.
pretty good.
so-
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Keep doing it. Siggy, you're doing an awesome job. Keep sharing it. I love this. Okay, let's get back to the other. I think those are all your stories. We're going to jump into my only story this week. It's a reoccurring one because we're following this I don't know what you call it. I guess it would be the Voyager instrument 2, the Voyager 2. Anyways, Voyager 1, I'm sorry. So it's gotten to a point where they have to shut down another piece of the instrument, Keyan. Last time we reported this was around, I want to say we talked about this in January. I think Ted over there was the one that helped us to explain what this actually did. But they're going to shut down another part of these instruments that they have, Keyan. And let me see if I can find out which one. There's only going to be 3 instruments left. And have you seen this, Ted? So NASA turns off 2 Voyager side instruments to extend mission. And let me see if I can find it.
I think last I
Yeah.
heard there was a small.
There it goes. We'll
Radio
shut
clock.
off Voyager 2's low energy charged particle instrument on March 24th. That's 13 days from now. 3 science instruments will continue, only 3, Keyan, operate on each spacecraft that moves are part of an ongoing effort to manage the gradually diminishing power supply of the twin probes.
I'm surprised you're excited by this and not the moon landing that just happened.
The failed moon landing.
Well, one of them was successful, right?
Did you post it on Stacker
Yeah,
News? I didn't even know it
The
existed.
Firefly?
Yeah, Firefly. I think
Oh, yeah, I didn't get a chance to read that.
Yeah.
We can
So
jump into that next.
Firefly succeeded at putting a lander on the
Hey,
moon.
this is a
It's like
Voyager.
a drone lander.
Hang on a second. This is the Voyager. We're talking about the Voyager.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl.
Yeah, so Voyager wanted to rely on the radios. How do you pronounce that word, Ted?
Radioisotope.
Radioisotope power system that generates electricity from the heat
RTG.
of decaying plutonium. What the hell does that mean, Ted?
That's exactly what it means. That's plutonium that's decaying, and then the heat that's coming off of it is powering.
But where's the plutonium coming from, though?
It's in the.
It got
trunk.
shipped?
It's a hunk of plutonium in the trunk.
Oh, wow. Both lose about 4 watts of power each year. So the Voyagers have been deep space rock stars since launch and want to keep it that way as long as possible. But electrical power is running low. Ted, is this something that you would do too? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing this thing is still running. What is it, like 50 years old? And yeah, it's got a couple antennas on there, as you can see. And those antennas are hooked up to some op amps, some amplifiers. And so a charged particle measurement is just, you got a particle, like a ion that's got a charge on there, it whacks into the antenna, and then that creates a little blip, and then the amplifiers amplify that up, and the very basic computer, probably mostly probably analog in there, packages it up in some sort of kind of data packet, and then
Shoots
sends
it back
that
to us.
to Earth. And one of the bigger issues with this particular spacecraft is that I'm not sure if it's a starfinder or how it's orienting itself, but they have an issue. It takes power to kind of reorient itself back at Earth, and that thing is running out of power. So it is struggling to reorient itself back at Earth. That's consuming like a large amount of the energy budget. So once that runs out, then it's going to drift, and then we'll lose communication.
See, this is why it's
Oh, no.
important, Keyan.
Unless we find a way to listen to it, which we often do with these things, right? Like a piece fails and then they
Yeah.
figure some weird thing out
Yeah.
within the constraints.
Did you ever
there.
watch the Mars rovers? Did you ever watch that documentary? Where they even said, they were like, we're just going to put some instruments on there, and then we hope that in the future we'll be able to turn these on.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. They were just like, we're making big bets on this technology, and we'll hope we'll be able to use them at some point. I don't know.
over the air updates.
I love that long-term thinking when it comes to space, is like how they think through all these different problems. Yeah.
I can give a quick space shout out
Yeah, go
to
for it.
A mission that was failed on the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and they've deposited some amount of Bitcoin on the lunar surface.
Wait, what? Where is this at?
So it's a mission that just failed yesterday,
What was it
or 2
called?
days ago.
I think
it's
CJE
IMS.
95 probably posted it about it because they are on the they're on a space committee on Capitol Hill.
Something Intuitive Machines. That's what it is. Intuitive Machines.
Oh, this one right here.
is the
Okay.
Lander. So the lander came in at an angle or something, and my buddy's rover's on there.
Oh,
and
this one right here.
It's kind of funny. His rover has a little mini rover on top of the rover that goes and drives on top of them.
Dude, there's a
other rovers
Texas
to
flag
inspect
on
it.
there. Look at
Oh,
that.
that's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. But yeah, it tipped over. And then somewhere in there's a crypto treasure chest that has Bitcoin and a bunch of shitcoin NFTs.
Ugh.
So if anyone wants to go get their
That's
worthless NFTs or Bitcoin, that's where
That's
they
an
go.
awesome idea. I mean, at least the Bitcoin part, because someone can go. It's incentivizing someone to go travel to the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. And I think it's not the first one. So I think there's a couple other bounties that are up there. So one of these days, someone's got to do a little bit of
Yeah. How much
pirating.
Bitcoin do you know?
Well, they said it was 250K at launch, which was
Oh, 250K sats.
The stock,
$250K
the stock,
dollars.
the
No
stock
way,
went down
really?
after it
Yeah, but that
didn't
was
land on the
including
moon.
their NFTs.
That's
Oh,
so
I see.
funny.
Which
knows?
which have no value.
Yeah, and I guess it was probably not that long ago. Maybe
So maybe one Bitcoin is on the moon.
I think that was at when they did integration. So that was maybe 6 to 8 months ago, and then the launch was probably a week or two ago. I don't know how long it took. It to
What
get
was
to
this
there.
right here? Starship exploded?
Yeah, Starship blew up.
Dude, we were talking to somebody. Me and EK were talking to somebody at dinner the other day. They were saying that whenever they're in Harlingen and something goes in the air from Starship or Starbase, whatever, they can feel their house move,
Yeah.
which I didn't know.
Yeah,
was
it's
a thing.
like a small nuclear bomb when it lifts off.
Anyways, pretty cool.
It is cool.
Love seeing things explode where no one gets hurt.
Oh yeah.
It's like the best kind of explosion. Look at
Thanks,
that.
Space Ted.
Space Ted. All right. Good job.
Thanks, Ted. Cool. That's all the top stories this week. We're going to jump into some top stackers. Let's go to the top stackers here. Right here is Coop.
Yeah.
I guess he took over for, what's his name? Arsink.
Yes, I've been R-syncing lately. Undisciplined is number 2. Someone in
Gray-
hiding is number
Gray
3.
Ruby.
Gray Ruby.
Group.
Do you want to get into
Oh.
No,
the
just
screen?
just hold on. Just
There
you're
you go.
good. You're
Okay,
good.
all right. Just check it out.
She wants to sneak in. Get her in.
All right, fine.
I'm
Scooch
snuck.
over.
I'm snuck.
There she goes.
Cars asked me to move. And
All right, so we
Ours,
got
the-
Blockchain Boo, Gray Ruby, Aardvark.
leader of the show.
Simple Stacker, usual suspects per usual. Let's go to the most boring segment in Bitcoin, the Cowboy segment, which is, I mean, the most popular segment. I'm sorry. Keyan, you gonna wear your hat?
Oh, yes. Here we go. Thank you for the reminder. Here we are.
I mean, we're competing against Sessions.
This podcast is
just, it's
too
just
long.
these Sessions.
Yeah. Okay. So look at all these Cowboys. Wow. Undisciplined 117.
Blockchain,
Blockchain Boog.
Gray Ruby.
Gray Ruby.
Yep.
Is this what you came for?
Yeah.
This is why you want to go
This is
on
what
camera?
everybody
Exactly.
wants to see.
Important segment.
Let's
Yeah.
see if
Satisora. Look at that. I don't think they've
Aardvark,
been
he's
that
been
high for very long.
He's every day. Aardvark goes into the thing and just craps on me every day.
Yeah, why is he
I don't know if-
doing
I don't
that?
know. Like
You don't know why?
He's picking a beef with you.
he goes, he's been tagging me. He goes, I'm Car. Of course they let me into the White House. See,
Oh, that was. See,
was recent. That
I
was from
support
this one.
that. I support that kind of
See,
stuff.
So
look, and then he just,
support
like-
the ribbing.
Yeah.
he's-
Well, just
oh, yeah, 'cause
taking
day 7
just
is
taking what
sending
Carr
Car an angry
said.
message.
Taking Car to task.
everyday anger.
Stripping Car down.
See,
No, just quoting Carr. All he's doing is quoting Carr.
oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm
okay.
Carr. Of course they let me into the White House. Is what he said.
Oh.
That's a good way to look
Okay.
at it.
I found it as like it's like sharing a receipt for like something you
interesting.
don't want people to know you bought.
He
I
said
think they
it
actually
live.
will double
On
down
air.
on that. I think they will let me into the White House. I'm gonna take, dude. When I get to the White House, I'm taking a picture. I'm gonna be like, in your face, Coob.
I would love to see it.
Okay. Well, that day
Will come.
will be interesting.
I'll be doing Stacker News live from the White House.
Whoa.
Whoa, how about that?
Does that mean I'm the president? And you are.
No, that means I'll just like be in the corner and you'll be like, "Are you ready to do the show?" I'll be like, "Yes, I'm ready to do the show. Do it now so we get started."
Oh, I see. We're doing a
And
remote
I
one.
win this bet. All right. Anyways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
look,
lot
it
of,
keeps going. Lots of.
Yo.
Surprised David W. has
snap.
kept those.
Look at all these posts.
Wow.
Are these your receipts?
Some miscellaneous ones. Some
I
extra
just
crabs.
haven't. No, I don't have anything. Well, I have to make a confession, but I won't do it right
confess.
now. I'll do it in a post.
Wait, interviews or something? Or
What?
oh yeah, you got Scoresby, EK, Coob. Yeah, you need to interview more people.
I'll interview you, Car.
Uh-oh,
You want to?
if you want to.
Okay.
We got podcast episodes. Boom. There we go. Book reviews. For Whom the Bell Tolls. Yeah, I got all this stuff here. Top Stackers. Ben Werman. Where's he been?
Oh, well, he asked questions in the AMAs as the AMA territory founder. We just had Dr. Ken Berry on, who wrote the
who's
proper
Dr.
human
Ken Berry?
diet. It's
Oh,
like a carnivore, at least carnivore adjacent, but I'm pretty sure
Peter Todd's in here. He's in the
Peter
top
Todd.
50.
Top 50.
David W. Man, this is pretty good.
it's pretty good.
Roy's here. Webster. Justin Shucknet. Cool.
Look at them all.
Yeah.
Did you open your
Great,
mouth like you were going to say something? Or was
I
that-
did, but
okay.
but then I didn't say it.
All right.
Yeah, it's because you're blocking her face right there.
I'm not intentionally doing that. I think she's hiding behind it.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
There it is.
Oh no.
EK's in town. EK, how do you like your visit here? He just clapped.
EK hides his face on camera.
I took him to sushi the other day. He said that I changed his mind about sushi.
Did he not like it before?
He did. He was on.
Hey, I can recommend coming to Plub Lab, and Car is not paying me to say this.
There you go. You heard it here first. I paid him in sushi to say that though.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's a
Yeah, it was a good time. I've been hanging out with
Unfair.
EK this week. It's been a good time.
nice. Where'd you guys go to sushi? Where's good sushi, Car? You said you
Just
told
down
me
the street.
You're like
Sushi Juna.
Sushi Juna.
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 Me and Tony have been there before. Me and
Does
Tony
it-
went there.
Do they have like the boats?
Oh, do they?
The boats?
Dude.
Yeah, like where there's like a river.
Oh, it comes by and you
Yeah.
pick it up.
Oh, no, not one of those. You're talking about a sushi boat.
I thought they were
yeah.
like robotic.
Yeah. They have one up north, though, on Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah. But you win with plates. Like, the more plates you stack, the more you, like, turn your monster into, like, a Japanese robot, Gundam style or something. I don't know.
A river flows in you.
There you go.
And all of us. Each and every
I think
one
that's
of
all I
us.
got. Keyan, Pleb Poet, what are y'all doing this weekend?
I am going to probably ride my bike. I got a new bike.
A motorcycle?
No, because I'm not a person who rides a motorcycle.
Thought we were gonna start a
It's
gang.
a normal human-powered bike with pedals.
Okay.
Pedal bike. Yeah, it's used. It's really cool. It's from the 80s.
Of course it is.
My wife picked it out.
Of course it is.
It's blue.
That's awesome.
Of course it
Yeah,
is.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Where are you gonna ride it?
I'm going to ride it to work in the mornings when I don't want to take the time to walk,
Yeah, or Waymo.
or Waymo is unavailable.
Nice.
That's cool.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
have like an area to put your book bag, or you're just gonna put it behind your back?
I can put it on my back. It also, if I have a rack, my backpack can. Made a guy make it.
Yeah,
like,
I
so
remember.
I can
This is
attach
the
it.
expensive backpack, the one you got like 3 years ago, right?
No,
No, but
Dude,
this
I
is-
never got this backpack in
Yeah,
your
we've talked
presence. I've
about
had
it.
this backpack for like 7 years.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show.
Oh, I don't remember it, but yeah, I got it on Etsy.
Yeah, I
from
remember this story.
from like a French guy, and he like made it. He like custom made it for me.
For specifically the bike, right? I remember
Yes, for
this.
specifically the bike. So
See?
that because in rain, it's wax canvas, and so we made it
remember
like
this
double
story.
thick.
I think it was episode 10 or something. We talked about this.
And you
Amazing
were-
you remember that because you won't remember stuff that we
I
talked about.
remember.
Like,
I
earlier
remember
in the
your
day.
really interesting, odd things that you say. This was an odd thing where I was like, "That's weird," but it sounds like
Oh.
Keyan.
No, but I mean, I've had that backpack for a long time. Probably lasts my entire life. I love buying stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Totally.
But,
Pleb Poet.
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend?
I'm gonna go watch Halsey.
Oh, are you
What
really?
is that?
Oh, so check this
Well,
out.
Halsey's playing down the street from where I live, so I might pull up tonight.
She might pull up. Let me see if I
Oh,
can
is
find
Halsey
it.
a artist?
Where is it at?
Yeah.
What kind of music
It was,
does
She
Uh,
did
Alright, let's just play this one.
what's
do my
her,
artist
like, most famous song?
That's her right there. She has blue hair.
I don't think that's her most famous song. That's an old one though, right?
Yeah. That's going to be
What was
you.
she singing
Are
in,
you
like,
gonna be one of these people
2016?
just out there?
Is this on 4th Street?
Are you going to be holding a phone like this, or are you going to be like this girl right here where she's
Yeah.
like, don't look at me?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like that girl. I'm gonna be able to point out every camera that's on me at all times and just stare them
I always
down.
love the person that does that, where they're like, everybody's like looking the other way, and there's just one person that's just
I
like,
don't understand people who hold their phones up like that at concerts.
Me
though.
either.
what do you mean?
What are you recording?
Yeah, who are you going to send it?
It's not gonna look good. It's on a
That
stage.
looks like my cousin over here.
And then you're also like destroying
That
your
looks like my
experience.
cousin right there.
It's like
You're
a
also
weird.
destroying your experience and other people's.
It's a weird like
Anyways,
mimetic behavior.
she'll be,
It is.
she'll be.
Wait a
playing
second. Wait a
at
second.
the
That page you were
Simpsons
just
Sounds-
on.
Yeah,
Is that her?
Go
What?
down. What is this list right here? Because I
These
see.
are all the people that are playing.
Okay, because I see Freak Slug, and I actually might for real go check them out because I
Yeah.
like a couple of their songs. That's cool.
Man, woman, chainsaw.
Yeah, but this one's the Simpsons Sounds Festival,
That's what you're
sponsored by
going to?
Coca-Cola.
See, Auditorium Shores. That's
Yeah.
like.
Oh,
where I'm
that's
at.
loud. Sorry, Stackers. Yeah, that's her right
So
there.
yeah,
Apparently she has blonde hair now. That's DJ Khaled.
That isn't.
it's not DJ. Wait, is Gus Dapperton coming up? Because you can
Ensign
see
Barrow.
him. No, he didn't.
Oh,
come up.
49 Buckaroos. There you go. Dude, we're getting all the big names.
Yeah,
Anyways,
but
Oh,
I'm lying. I'm not really gonna go see this, but it is. I'm gonna hear it just
I
because I
mean, you
live
could see it. It's
there.
definitely a possibility.
Why not go see it?
I mean, I don't have a ticket, but I guess I
You could
could.
sneak in.
Well, EK asked a question last week about getting into concerts that you don't have a ticket to. And
Well-
a bunch of people describe how you might do that.
Oh,
You just get a trash bag and say, "Hey, I'm here to pick up trash," and then
okay.
Well, that's one option. I don't, that
I like
might-
that. I feel like that would work too.
Probably wouldn't have won EK's bounty, but
Let's jump into
I missed
top
that.
comments from last week's episode.
I think we discussed it.
User
here.
401 said, "Don't go chasing waterfalls." I don't know what that means.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
You heard it there
To
first.
the rivers
Blockchain
and
Book says,
the
"I am
lakes
number
that
one."
you Used to.
And then some guy says, all right, no, that was last week. So we only got 2 zaps.
Okay.
think-
I wonder
I
what the
think-
waterfalls part is about.
I don't remember us
Did we
saying-
talk about who's the brand that does that again?
Yeah, I don't think we talked about
TLC.
I don't think we talked
The brand? Did you say?
I said band.
Okay, I thought you said
I would
brand.
not say brand.
Okay.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
But that was the song that I wanted to sing
At your wedding?
karaoke.
At your wedding.
That's supposed to be my karaoke.
Oh,
song.
that's I would love. Yeah, yeah. Let's do that this weekend.
That's supposed to be like like I show up and do karaoke. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I've been practicing for years.
Yes.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. And then I just like blow people away.
Yeah. I would love to be in the audience when that happens.
Okay. Well, it's not going to happen because I haven't done years of practice yet. But
Okay.
Hey, we are going to party next week, so
Maybe
it's
someday.
possible that you could be doing karaoke there. Just saying.
I don't know. I don't know if I have my childhood singing voice anymore. It's probably gone.
Was that the singing voice you used in the pageants?
I don't think I sang in my pageants. I think I just literally showed up on a metaphorical platter.
Could you do "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses?
I think that's a hard. That's getting in that.
I
what
think
is that?
Jim's wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt today, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Look at us. We're all ready.
Chinese democracy. You wearing that shirt?
What?
Actually, that's an album that was Axl Rose was trying to make for like 30 years, and then I think he actually made it. Didn't pan out though. Anyways,
I don't know music things.
have a great weekend, Stackers. Go out and
What are you doing this weekend?
Oh,
Yeah, why don't we talk about
I think
that?
we're gonna go head over to Capital Factory tonight, and then we're gonna go there tomorrow too. And then
Oh, there's probably
Austin's
cool
throwing a
stuff, huh?
party. Austin's gonna be doing like a not
saw
Austin the
that.
city, but Austin.
It's like a
Web
KC
dev.
teleport thing, right?
He's doing like this thing, so probably check that out. and then go buy some beers for next week. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Wow.
Will you get Pacifico?
I'll get Pacifico. That's what you want. Yeah,
Sweet.
make it happen. Stackers, we'll see you next week with a live show and a special guest. I won't know who that is because I'll ask them right before we go on if they want to be a special guest.
Wow.
But this guy will be here. She'll be here.
I might be.
He'll be here. He'll be here. And there'll be a ton of big audience.